My name is Zahra. Nowadays I am retired. I found the time of retirement to start doing something useful and attractive. I paint. I paint a lot. I started painting on small canvases. Then the canvases, they started growing and growing until I ended up, I didn't have a place where to paint anymore, where to put my paintings. Because I don't sell my paintings, I paint because I like every painting that I have made. I like them, I want to keep them. But finally we decided to do this exhibition. It is for sale, and the sales, they are going to go for charity.
What motivated you to start painting in public spaces?
It was an idea that once I ran out of place where to put my paintings in the house, I decided that I must find a big place where to start painting. And eventually, as you have seen, I painted in front of my house, which was the biggest painting. It was about 35 meters by 5 meters big. Then I started getting invited to paint places as a volunteer. Like, for example, I ran the school for disabled people. I made a 55-meter painting, which is the biggest one I have ever made. And I did many other places, which are private places, which it will be an advert if I had to say where they are.
How do you choose locations for your work?
Most of them, they came through Project Green. They invite me to do schools and charitable institutions. In front of my house, there's a small garden, which was a derelict. And I asked the help from Project Green. They sent me trees and some help. They painted the whole walls white. And that was my inspiration, that how can I have a whole wall white? And that was my biggest first painting. Then, of course, I asked the neighbors if they want to renew their facades, and I did all their facades, and I brought trees, and nowadays it's like a paradise.
What are your sources of inspiration?
Painting, it is something that is in your mind. What comes into your mind, you just do it. Of course, you look around and see what's going on, and see what can inspire you to do something. That's why it is a diversity, because I can do all kinds of paintings from places where I have been before, countries that I have visited before. So then in your mind starts clicking and saying, okay, I'm going to do this because this fits for this.
Are there any artists that have influenced you?
One of my best painters that I like is Caravaggio. As you have seen, I have several paintings from Caravaggio. Not exactly what he has painted, but taking inspiration from Caravaggio. Caravaggio used to paint in the dark, but with colorfuls. I like colors. I like the diversity of colors. She's Katarina, my wife, and that is when I was fat as well. That's when we were married, the small one.
What difficulties do you encounter in the process of creating your art?
Difficulties is when you paint outside, because before you do a painting, you need to get permits from the local council, from the planning authority, and these things. When I did the first one in front of my house, I didn't find any difficulty at all. I just said, I'm just going to do it, and I did it. I had the difficulties while I was doing it, but since they saw that I was doing something interesting and something good for the public to see, they let me do it, and they gave me the more encouragement to do more.
What emotions and reactions do you observe from people passing by your works on the streets?
I feel gratitude. First of all, looking from my window, I see lots of tourists. As soon as they see the biggest change from the atmosphere that we have here in Cospicua, especially into, like as if you were walking into a different country, the beauty that there is over there. Everybody's sitting around taking photos, and they come groups singing around my garden and do activities over there. That's the inspiration, that's the good thing about it.
What do you think is the impact of your art on public spaces and the community as a whole?
Everywhere around, the only thing you see is stones and concrete. But with having diversity of colors, you see places flourishing. I mean, I encourage anybody who is capable of painting to ask a permit, find a place and do it, if they can do it.
What role does art play in your life? And how has it changed you as a person in recent years?
If you had been on different works and on different jobs, and then you are retired and you find yourself doing nothing at home, you have to find some kind of hobby. There are people who do all kinds of hobbies, so I encourage them to do something. Why do you stay at home doing nothing, complaining? If you have an inspiration to paint, I even encourage the young ones, the children, to start painting. Please paint. Doesn't mean that's going to pay your life. Painting usually doesn't pay your life unless you are a famous painter, but it will encourage you to do something nice. It has changed my life because my thoughts are inspired on the paintings. If you look to the paintings, they all have a meaning, and usually they are a meaning of my feelings. How did I feel in this country? What did I see? Sometimes you are in a bad mood and you paint something which has a negative look, but it has a meaning, it has a message.
Could you share your most memorable project and explain why it is important to you?
The most painting that I have satisfaction to do, and I was applauded by about 300 students, was the Randy School. Because over there is two schools. It's divided into two schools. One day I was still painting, and the headmaster of the school gathered all the students, and all of a sudden they called me. I was painting and I said, what's going on? And everybody was applauding me and thanking me for making their school beautiful and more attractive.
What message would you like to convey to viewers through your art and your story?
The message is very simple. If you want to not waste your time doing nothing, please try and paint or do something else. I'm not saying painting is the only thing in the life, but wasting your life doing nothing, I think it's a wasted life. I chose painting, so that's why there's this exhibition, so that I show, not to show what I can do, to show to other people that with a little bit of encouragement, they can do whatever I do. I like to conclude this interview with a very simple message. We did this exhibition for not just to show my paintings, but as a charitable thing. Why is a charitable thing? All these paintings, they are for sale. Please come and see them. You put your bid, and the best bid that they are, because they are auctioned, the best bid that there is, they are going to go for charity. So please do come and see it. If other people can do what I do, or what you see, people did it, so you can do it.